Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you may already have noticed. And I want to show you 3 different games again, and this time around it will be Miraculous, Ladybug Dominions, Alice in Wonderland, and Hockey Fight Light. My name is Gerald, and as always I have a couple of things here that are going to enable me to do all of these. That is, for example, the Arc mouse, which is just for mouse input in this case. I will be using the Foldable keyboard, which is this keyboard here, for keyboard input stuff. And we will have a game in the setup where we are going to play with the Xbox One as a wireless controller too, and so there is a gamepad involved, of course. And the core of the whole thing here is, as always, my Lumia 950 XL. I just recently put on a new cover on it, so now it's a Mozo leather cover. I don't know if I really like it better than my wood one, so probably I will change that again. I'm not sure about it. I just think that, for example, the wood one just suits the smartphone a little bit better because, for example, here you see the screen itself is black at the side, and you can of course see that the border here is not black but some kind of an aluminium style or whatever. It's not really aluminium, it's just painted, I think, but nevertheless it looks quite nicely from the back, if you ask me, but from the front and the side it's a little bit odd to see it like that, because, for example, the wood one, let's take that one, is just black from the side too, and so it's just a little bit better to see it like that. But we will see. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or if I'm going to use the wood one. Both are quite nice, and we will see which one I want to use and which one I will prefer here. Okay, so and of course this is a Lumia 950 XL which has an USB-C connector at the bottom and is connectable like that with a cable, for example, with my display dock, which is standing at the side here. Hope you can see that. Yeah, you should. And this display dock is connected with an HDMI cable with my TV here to give us this kind of screen, which is more or less a desktop-like experience on the smartphone. So the smartphone is giving us this screen now, and this is called Continuum, of course. You all know about that already, or you should have a look at another video from me. You can find one in the corner up there, where I'm just giving a little bit more information about the whole setup and stuff like that in there. And so let's start with the first game, I would say. Yeah, and the first game is Miraculous Ladybug Dominions. And that is more or less just what it sounds like. It's a domino game, more or less, with ladybugs. So ladies which are dressed like bugs or whatever you want to call that. So let's have a look at that. I'm going to go to my all apps list at the start here, and I'm going to input with my Foldable keyboard, of course. There it is. And I'm just going to open that. It's quite a simple game, but I like it somehow, especially for little girls.
I'm Marinette, just a normal girl with a normal life. There's something about me that no one knows yet, because I have secrets. Another day, I'm back in school. I think about him, he's so cool.
Yeah, as you already see here, it has some kind of a own soundtrack and stuff like that. So for what it is, it's really quite complex what they did all around it, so I'm really not sure about that. Maybe this is some kind of a comic strip or whatever, or a comic or an anime character or whatever. I don't know exactly where that is coming to be, and if this is, for example, just a series and they put this on it, or if it's really a game that really did all that stuff by its own. But I think it's really a nice one, especially for girls, or if you like this kind of style, of course. And so just try it out. First off, you can play against a computer and you can play against a friend, so it's up to you if you want to have a 2-player setup here or a 1-player setup against a bot. And of course you can buy the full game, then there is no advertisement involved and stuff like that. Do it if you want to support this developer, of course. And yeah, I will just start with clicking on play against the computer. And as you can see, you can now choose from one of these characters which you want to play. And it's really quite simple, there's not much to it, so it's just this image which will change more or less. So just use your character, which one you want to get here. For example, if you want to get this ladybug style character here, just click on that. And if you click once again, then you are going to go into the game itself. And as you can see, we have these both characters which are fighting against each other now in this setup. And yeah, what this is all about is really just the very popular game where you just have these stones with different images on it, and you just lay them, and the enemy or the competing player, for example, is trying to lay his stone so it matches more or less the same images, and then the first one who doesn't have any kind of stones anymore will win this game. If you, for example, lay something and the competing player can't lay something, then he has to draw some new stones till he can lay again. And the same is happening for you, and like that, someone will win or lose depending on what you are going to have here. Okay, so we are to start this game, so just click on one of these, and as you can see we have laid that now, and the computer will lay something matching to that stone, and so we are going to play this game through. It's not going to take extremely long, it's really not hard. You can see here this girl is at this point, so we should be able to put it there, okay? Just click on it and it will be placed where you want, where it really matches more or less. And like that, we can play this game. And as I said before, it will take as long as some player isn't able to play anything anymore. Okay, so like this, you see we don't have a valid move now, so we have to draw something. And like that, we can just choose one of those, for example that one. Try to see if we can play on then, and as you can see we can at this point. And now the enemy had to draw some, and like that this game is going on till nobody can lay anything anymore, or till, for example, there is no more stone available for one of the players, and he wins this game, and this is all that is going on here. So let's see what we can do here, and how well we are going to be at this point. I don't think there's a time limit or something, so you really have all the time you want to play this game. And we just, as you can see, we just won this game because we got our last stone out, which was placed at this point. And like that, we won this game, and we can go on and play again or do something else. For example, play against the other friend or something like that. I'm not sure if there are really difficulty levels or something, so I think it's over now and you just start over and over again from this place on. So if you like that kind of game, or you have, for example, a girlfriend or your daughter or whatever, or whoever, who wants to play something like that, just let them know. It's quite nice if you like this kind of style, and just have a look at that. Okay, so let's have a look at the second game in this episode, which is Alice in Wonderland, or Alice in Wonderland, because we are going to play it in German, of course, because my smartphone is German. And yeah, what this is all about, it's really just a very simple, or standard, whatever, hide and seek game, more or less. So you just have to click on different stuff here, and there is a little bit of a story around that. It's a little bit obscure if you ask me. It's more or less the Alice in Wonderland story, but a little bit, yeah, moved and switched and turned around to more or less fit the whole storyline and the whole game here. So let's have a look. I will just go to my All Apps list at this point. Click on that, and I'm going to search for Alice. think it's enough. Right, there it is. And yeah, as I said before, this is really just a hide and seek or Wimmer build game, and it really is more or less that what I told you about. So just search for different things here. You have, for example, jokers to for example get one of the hidden objects more or less to get here. It is financed with a little bit of advertisement. It's not really bad, so it's not going to hurt you a lot or something. It's really just a little bit there. And as you can see, we have some kind of an game here which we can play. As I said before, there is a little bit of a story around that. So, for example, Alice is more or less a girl, and that's a little bit funny about it. It's a girl who will be in more or less some kind of a theater piece, and she is playing Alice, and now she is really going to be in a real Alice game or setup, whatever, because we are just before that theater piece there. So whatever. It's a little bit obscure, as I said before, but quite nicely. And now just let's have a look at the different stuff here. And all you have to do now is you have to find everything. There is a little bit of a twist to it because we have some kind of a 360 degree image here, so you can just move around, and you will sooner or later come back to the first screen. But that makes it a little bit more difficult, if you ask me, because, for example, we can, of course, zoom in and out, of course, but you really have to have a lot more in your head to search for. So, because there's a lot of screen space to search for in this case. And for that, for example, if you want to find something, for example, Gießkanne here, that's this one, I can just click on that. Then you have this kind of a timer, and if you, for example, have another one, you will get some kind of a bonus in the time you have here till the timer is going to be down, and then there's no bonus anymore, and you are just going to play this again in the normal way, of course. And if you have a look at that, there are all around everywhere stuff hidden and stuff you have to find, and sometimes not to find. If you have a look at that, here we have this pocket watch, and there are different other things we can find in this setup, of course. And like that, you are going to play this, and you have to find everything that is given at this point. If you don't know anymore where, for example, to search for, you can use this. This is a tip. You can see 30 seconds are there, and I didn't really see something. In general, it's going to go up and down. So let's see if I just wasted it, more or less, because I didn't have a too close look at that. Yeah, things like that. There's a frog, for example. We can just use that. And probably that's what they already shown us. I don't know. But in the end, now you just have to search for all of the stuff here. Let's see if we can solve this first one in a reasonable time. Otherwise, I will just cut it somewhere and we will go to the next game. But in the end, this is all we have to do at this point, and you really just have to search for different things. If you don't know anymore where to search for, just use this, and as you can see, we have this kind of part there. It's called Staffelei in German. I'm not sure what the name in English is. It's where you put the picture, for example, to draw on. And now let's have a look at if we can find more like that. And as you can see, there are hidden things all around. For example, here's a rabbit, here's a snake. We have some kind of a knife at this point. I think this is perfume or whatever. And like that, we can find all different things on this image here. And you just have to search for it. So if you don't like this kind of game, don't do it. This was a mirror. Gramophone. Yeah. I think you already get what this game is all about. If you like this kind of game, just try it out. If you don't like this kind of game, just don't do it. That's all. There's a gramophone, going to use that of course. And I'm going to try to play this through. There's a ball, I think, yeah, okay. I'm going to try to play this through because I want to show you a little bit of the storyline. It's really just a small little part and storyline. Not really sophisticated or something, but really just there to make it a little bit more logical to play this. We are searching for a flower, which is a little bit of a hassle, of course, in this kind of scenario here. There's a fire, for some reason or the other, in the middle of everything. I don't think there's any kind of punishment for you, for example. There seems to be a bird we are searching for, yeah, raven. And I don't get what this is, if I have to be honest, because it's... Okay, that was the iron part there, but for ironing. And now we are just searching for more or less that flower part. It's a special flower. I'm not sure which one, because it's not just this one or something, but something quite part. So let's use the next one. There it is. Okay, this is the flower we are searching for. And now it's just this, I don't know, it's a number, it's an integer. I don't know what we are supposed to search for. It's 1, more or less. 1 is 1. But I'm just not really sure what we are searching for at this point. So if we don't really find something, doesn't matter, we just are using our tip here now. Okay, now we are through. We can use our tip. Okay, it's really just some kind of a 1, whatever. And now we can just get an information that we did it well. And this was more or less the first of these parts here with the 1 in it. We can click on that. Now you see we have this little kind of the cat. It's called Grinsekatze in German, because it has this green on it, and that is something that is normal in the Alice setup here, of course. Now you can just go to the next one. You can just repeat the game, and I'm not sure what this does. I think I will just click on it to show you the next part. It can be that now there is a little bit of an advertisement, so after each Wonderland game you may have to watch one of the smaller advertisements here. It's a little bit of a commercial. It's not really bad. It's just there, so you just have to think about it. It's a bit of an advertisement. It's even 2 advertisements at the same time, if you ask me, but whatever. And the bad thing about it is that you can't really click it away without watching it, but it's really not that long, so just try it out. And as you can see, in between there are always these little kind of informations there. For example, in this case, they're just telling us that you are now in the rabbit hole, more or less, and now you have to do the next Wonderland here in this case, and this is in the rabbit hole. And just search for everything you want here. And as you can see, it's a little bit easier probably to do this one than the other one before. But as I said before, it's just a Wonderland. If you like Wonderland games, just try it out. It's nice for that. And if you don't like it, just leave it away. Okay, so let's have a look at our last, sitting on my keyboard here, just have a look at our last game in this episode, and that is Hockey Fight Light. And yeah, it's more or less, it's connected to hockey, but it's not really hockey playing or something we are going to do here, but we are going to fight on the ice. So in some situations, if for example hockey players are playing against each other, they might get into an argument, and the game is all about that. So let's have a look at that. So I'm going to put in hockey. I think that should be enough already. Yeah, there we are. And this game can be played with the Xbox One wireless controller or another gamepad. And it's a little bit difficult to play it with that, but I found out how to do it. I think I will put somewhere on the screen some information about how to play this game, because it's a little bit difficult to play it with a gamepad, because nobody is telling you what the different things are going to be. For example, what is a left punch and stuff like that, because it's a fighting game. And you may already hear it here. We have some kind of metal in the background here. Cool stuff. And yeah, as I said before, I'm going to put on the screen somewhere information on how to play it with a gamepad, because it's really hard to find out. I just had to try it myself. So if you have a look at this screen here, you already see it's hockey fight light more or less, and we are going to fight on the ice with really our fists and going to go into a fight like that. And yeah, more or less what you can see here is a menu where you can do different things, and we are going to go to the game options first. And as you can see, we have different kind of stuff here, and what I really highly recommend you to do is play how to play at this point. And if you are, for example, uncertain how to use the Xbox One wireless controller in this case, please try it out with this game mode. Play this probably several times, like I did, because otherwise you are not going to have any information on how to play it with an Xbox One wireless controller. You can, of course, play it with the on-screen controls, for example, on the smartphone itself. And there is a way to play it with the keyboard too. But I will be using the Xbox One wireless controller, or a gamepad in this case, to play this game. Just to mention it, it's really not easy to win this game, even if you are using, for example, a gamepad. I'm not sure how it is if you are going to use, for example, touch or something, but you really have to be quite fast to win this game. And I will just show you a little bit about it. So just in short, to tell you a little bit about it, you have to press this kind of controller here. So don't use the sticks or something, that's not going to work. You have to use this analog one here, or better to say this digital one. Sorry, it's a digital one. And then you have to use the buttons on the right to control this. Okay, so let's say we are done with that. So let's go back to this part. I will turn around, otherwise I'm going to lose this bigger times than I will at the moment, and it's going to be a loss. I'm quite sure about that. But whatever, let's try to play it. Then, as you can see, we can use our mouse, of course, to go to a tournament, for example, or a quick fight. It highly depends on what you want to go do here. I would more or less start with a quick fight, I think, or let's play, whatever. Let's play the tournament. As I said before, I'm going to use this, and I have my little part here. As you can see, we have now the option to, for example, choose another player or use our player to more or less customize him or upgrade him, for example. I'm going to increase the volume a little bit. I really like the music here. It's really something that is really suitable for that game. And as you can see, we can choose between different players, at least if we are going to play this for a couple of times, because you really have to buy them now, more or less, with your experience. And otherwise you can, for example, increase the player's abilities or upgrade the player's abilities, like, for example, power, stamina, defense and speed. So it's really highly important that you have all of this very high, of course. At the first part you will really lose a lot of stuff here, as you can see, and I hesitate to tell you that, but I lost 7 times already in a total of 7 fights. It's really hard to play this game in a really good fashion, especially if you don't know how to play it with an Xbox One wireless controller, for example, because you, at the start, you're not really sure if it's really working or something, but it is working. I just want to show you how that is going to be. So, first off, let's say we have this player here, we are happy with it, and we are going to play in there. Now, as we are in a tournament, we can't choose now the enemy, we are just going to play against more or less ourselves, and let's have a look what's going on here. So, as I mentioned before,
we have a fight. Who would you place your bets on tonight? Originally from Canada, the Prodigy. Originally from Canada, the Prodigy.
and we have to fight against each other. As you can see, we are the red one, the lighter one there is the enemy more or less.
Look at those combinations.
And
Still standing
you
on his feet.
have to fight those guys, of course.
A left. Another one. A punch directly to the head. This punch was devastating. All right. That was
And as you can see, I'm getting killed here.
Block this one. Another punch directly to the head.
Come on.
A left.
The hard thing is that you have to block him. And blocking is really not easy at this point.
All right. Another one. A punch directly to the head. Good reaction time. A left. That was a big hit. Have you seen the speed of those punches? Have you seen the speed of those punches?
And I'm gone. Yeah, as I said before, it's really hard to play this game, especially because the other player is much, much better. I think he has more stamina and is just better at playing this.
And we have a winner.
Just to let you know, you have to do different things here, and I'm going to play with you the training ones. After that, you really have to go to play with the training, because it's just not playable like that if you're not going to be very, very good at it. You get a lot of stuff here, even if you lose. So, yeah, I'm not going to watch the part there for now. As you can see, we have, for example, 34 punches I have thrown and 25 have really got there, but the other one has really got more than that, and like that I'm just going to die like that, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to click on that now, and now we are going to have a look at our, let's go back here. Okay, sorry, have to click on that. And once again. And now I'm going to go to the menu again. Just go out of the tournament. And I'm going to play with you the first tutorial lesson more or less. So he's trying to tell you stuff there. And as I said before, we can have a look at that first. So just to have a look what we can do here and how to do it. So click on that. And as I said before, it's a little bit harder to play it with a gamepad if you ask me, because as you can see we have these kind of areas here, so the easiest way is probably to play it with your smartphone at the touch level itself, but whatever.
Let's start with some punches to teach you the basics. Try pressing the top left area of the screen to throw a left punch to your opponent's face.
Yeah, and now it's a little bit hard to understand what you have to do.
The top left
what you have to do here is really not just clicking
face.
one button or something. You really have to use the
top left area of the screen
the stick more or less, or better to say the gamepad at this point, and you have to use the X, for example. So to have an upper cut or an upper, sorry, not an upper cut, an upper punch at the left part, you really have to click both these, and now you're doing that.
Press the
okay,
top right
so
area to
up
throw
and
a right
X.
punch instead.
And to do the other one is, of course, up and B. And this is how you really play this game. Doing it again. Up and B.
Try pressing the bottom left area of the screen to throw a left punch to your opponent's body.
Yeah, and this is more or less the same, so just press down and X in this case. And of course,
press the bottom right area
For the other
for a
one,
right punch instead.
I'm going to press both of these. And like that,
When
I
your
can
special
hit him.
meter is full, you will then be able to throw special punches.
So,
Swipe vertically your thumb on the screen to throw a special uppercut.
yeah. And in this case, you really have to click, for example, on the
Swipe
upper part
vertically
and
your
then just
thumb
use
on the screen.
both
That
A
must have
and
hurt to avoid
Y,
getting hurt.
in this case,
You
to
can
go
also
up.
block any incoming punches. Press
And now,
and hold both top areas to block any incoming punches to the head.
so in this one, it's a little bit more complex or not
Press
that
and
easy to
hold
find out
both
because you
top
just have
areas
to
block
press
any
up
incoming
and Y in
punches to
this
the head.
case
Now,
to block.
try pressing both bottom areas to block.
And
any
here the same
incoming
AttentionPlease as
punches to the
before, we
right.
just have to press down and Y.
Someone's got some pretty good reflexes. Don't spend too much energy punching an opponent while he is blocking.
Yeah.
Once your stamina
And
bar
as I
is
said
low,
before, it's quite hard to do that, so really if you want to play this game, you really have to practice a lot, I
stay on the
think.
defense.
Especially
Remember
because
your
it's not
stamina.
very slow or something,
Try
you really
throwing
have
a
to
few
be
punches
fast
in a
to
row
play this.
Create combos. Punch
And now
combinations
combos are really
are harder
easy,
to block,
more or less. You
and
just,
will
for
inflict
example, have
more
to...
damage to your opponent.
Yeah, of course. And as you can see, just press up and now
Punch
X and B
combinations are harder to block.
fast
Wow.
after
that was
each other.
amazing.
That's going to be
Win
the
fights,
play we
gain
can do here
respect,
and
upgrade
how
your
to
players'
play this
physical
part.
attributes.
And yeah,
Fighting
this
in
is
a
more or less what I
tournament
want to
against
show
a
you
pro.
from this game. So if
You
you
look
like
like
this...
you're ready to fight now. Let's see if you've got what it takes to fight against the pros.
Yeah.
Good luck.
As he said before, let's see if you have, if you got what it takes to fight against the pros here. I don't think I have that at the moment, so I really have to practice a little bit more to get this up and running. But as you can see, like that, this game is played. It's quite hard to play with the controller. It's not much easier with the keyboard, if you ask me. I didn't play it on the smartphone itself till now, but I think even there it's quite hard to play this game because the enemy is really punching you a lot and very fast, and for example blocking or something is not easy like that. But whatever, try it out. Maybe it's more of a game that you can play than I am, and of course let me know about that in the comments below if you, for example, like this game and if you can play it quite good, whatever. Maybe you are going to be in the high score that is there. It's I think a worldwide high score, if I'm not sure, not wrong, sorry. And like that, maybe we are going to meet us there. Okay, so and this ends more or less this episode. I hope you had fun with this episode and that there was some games which really more or less you liked. And thanks for listening, thanks for watching, of course. Have a nice day, have a nice week. We will see us in the next weekend, or at the next weekend more or less, I think, so in a couple of days again for the next episode. I hope you had fun. If you didn't subscribe to this channel until now, please have a look down below if you want to, so you're not missing one of the episodes, of course. And if this video was something you like, please give it a thumbs up, of course. And yeah, I guess the other button is working too, but of course I would like to have a thumbs up, of course. And like that, thanks for watching, thank you for listening, have a nice week, have fun with these games, and see you soon. Bye!